Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video a little bit different to what I have been over the last couple of months. As you know, I've been traveling a little bit around Victoria, places I've been before and haven't been before, photographing, just showing you behind the scenes. But with this video, I'm doing it because a lot of people have been asking, what is in my kit? So I thought I would do that video, what is in my kit? I'd like to show you what camera I use, the lenses I use, other pieces of equipment I use, and just to show you how I travel and how I photograph with what I have. So I think you might be surprised, a lot of people will be surprised at how I don't carry a lot of equipment with me at all. I like to keep it light. I like to keep my bag free of unnecessary things. So you'll see with my equipment that I don't have a lot, and that's the way I like it. And also you'll notice that I don't have a lot of expensive things. I have a lot of cheaper things, and to be honest, I think they work just as well, if not better than the expensive things, as long as you know how to use them. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so I thought I'd start off with my bags, because that is really what you carry. That's where all your equipment is stored. So first off, this is what I use when I'm going on small adventures and I don't want to take a lot, like just a couple of small little things. I use the Low Pro Adventurer 170. I got this when I was probably just starting out in photography, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I use this mostly on just small weekend adventures. It's like a little sling, goes over your shoulders. Open it up. It's not that big inside. You can only fit maybe a camera, a lens, and a few other little things. And that's one of my bags. Another bag that I use is this. This is not a special camera bag at all. This is just a backpack. I don't really like having a camera bag. I have one and I never use it. I haven't used it for about 4 years. I felt like it's too busy, too heavy at times, and I often found myself carrying too many things when I was using it. I'll take my whole kit rather than just things I know I'd need. So this is just a normal backpack, as you can see in there. And there's another pocket in here. I got this honestly for $20–30 in Hong Kong earlier this year. I've been using it only for a couple of months, and yeah, because I travel lightly, I don't need a lot of stuff, and this thing is perfect for me. Next up, the main ingredient, the camera. So my camera at the moment is a Nikon D300S. I got this secondhand probably about 3 years ago. I bought it on eBay for half the price it was in store, and the lens I have on it is my 24-70 2.8, which I hardly ever take off. This is my baby. This is my pride and joy. I love this thing. Do a lot of landscapes with it. You know, I don't usually do portraits, but you can do portraits on this thing. And my only other lens is this. You might be surprised. It's just a DX 55 to 300 millimeter, 4.5 to 5.6. So for a crop sensor. This came with my original Nikon D3100 camera, just a kit lens, and I use this all the time. I use this for wildlife photography. I use this for landscapes when I've got to zoom in a lot. And to be honest, I love this lens. Like, it's cheap as hell online, cheap as hell wherever you get it, and it does the job for me. I don't need to upgrade to anything better than this because I don't need it. And with the cameras, I have a spare battery, just one. I don't need another one. And my camera takes CF card. I use the SanDisk Extreme Pro 16 gigabytes, and it also takes SD cards. So the Extreme Pro SanDisk 16 gig as well. Generally what I use is one for JPEG and one for RAW. So I actually have another camera. It's different. It's not a digital SLR or even a compact camera. It is trusty GoPro. This thing has saved me on so many occasions. When I was before I went to New Zealand in 2014, I bought this thing and I've never looked back. I use this probably almost every trip I go on, everywhere I go to. I've been to the Great Barrier Reef in Queensland, and rather than buy an underwater housing or underwater camera, I've just used this and I've got some brilliant shots from it. I've used this for video. I've used this for really wide landscape shots, like fisheye. I use it pretty much as a fisheye, and this is probably my best friend other than my 24-70 or my Nikon D300S. This thing goes with me wherever I go. As many of you know, to be a successful landscape photographer, to do it properly, you need to have a steady tripod. I in fact have 2 tripods and I use both of them depending on the situation or where I am. First one, this is what I've had. This is what I started with. A Manfrotto 190X Pro B. I got this probably 2013, and this is what you need more. Like when I first started photography, I thought you had to have the best lenses and the best cameras, full frame. But I soon found out that the tripod is more useful than the better lenses. To have a good steady tripod is really, really important, and this thing has gone with me everywhere I've been. It's been to everywhere from New Zealand and Hong Kong and Singapore to Queensland to Canberra to Melbourne to Adelaide. I take this everywhere. Rain, hail, sunshine, whatever, this thing will stand it. On top of the tripod, I used the 496 RC2 ball head. It's probably the cheapest of the lot of them, but it doesn't matter. It works perfectly. It holds my camera, and every shot you see on my Instagram feed or on my website, that would probably have been taken with that. The second tripod I got fairly recently. Got it for Christmas from my girlfriend last year, and it's just, I found that when I was taking my Manfrotto tripod, sometimes it was a bit too heavy. It didn't fit in my luggage a few times when I was going overseas. So she bought me this, the Joby tripod, Gorilla Pod. This thing is a beast. Like, you can wrap it around tree trunks, you can wrap it around poles, and it's strong. It's strong enough to hold my camera with my 24-70 lens, and that thing is not light. This thing has saved me so many times. It's much smaller, as you can see, fits into your luggage a lot easier. It folds up, and it can also hold my GoPro, of course, my phone, and it takes just as good shots. It's pretty stable if you make it stable. So continuing on with tripods and shooting on tripods, you always need to have a way of photographing without touching the camera. I have 2 options. I use both a timer remote controller. This one I bought on eBay 3 or 4 years ago, Yongnuo. It's some cheap Chinese brand, and it does the job. It is amazing. This thing it's small, as you can see. It's light. It was cheap. It's probably only $20 if that. And you can get Canon or Nikon brand as well, but I found that this one's cheaper and it works just the exact same. So you can put it on bulb, it locks it in. You can have it on for as long as you want. Push it off, there's your shot. Another thing I use for long exposures are these. Same brand, Yongnuo. These things are the RF603N. I have 4 of them. They all came in one pack. I got them on eBay as well a couple of years ago. They take AAA batteries, 2, and one of them fits onto the shoe on top of your camera, and the other one you hold. And wirelessly, you can take photos. So if you have your camera on bold, you can stand away from it and click the button here and it'll take your shot. I use these probably more than my timer remote control, but I often forget to take spare batteries with me, and there's been a few occasions where I've taken them and the batteries in them, like now, are actually dead. So luckily I've had that other one, and that is why a cord is always good as well, because you don't need spare batteries. So another really important thing about photography, landscape photography, portrait photography, whatever photography you do, is making sure that your camera is clean. This is why I carry this thing. There's been times where I've taken photos of beautiful landscapes, put them back on my computer, and you can see dot spots all over the screen. And it's a pain in the ass to try and edit sometimes when you have lots, and I mean lots on mine. I've had probably 30 or 40 different individual spots that I've had to edit on multiple photos, 20 photos or so. This is where this comes in handy. You blows out all the dust, and generally it does a really good job. Another thing I use is one of these, lens cloth. It can be your best friend when you're out in the field. The amount of times that I've accidentally touched the front of the lens, not known, come home, gone to look at the photos, and they're a bit blurry, a bit misty because you can see the fingerprint, when I could have just used one of these to wipe it off. Always make sure I have one, if not two, maybe three of these in my bag at all times. As many of you know, landscape photographers, travel photographers, outdoor photographers, they use filters on the fronts of their lenses to enhance their images in camera so they don't have to do as much work in post. And they can make really cool effects depending on what look you're going for in your photography. I have 3 filters. I got a landscape kit that was given to me by my girlfriend. She's a fashion photographer. She didn't need them. She got them when she first started photography. Didn't really know what she was doing at the time. The landscape kit I have, and it came in the kit, a filter holder, a gradual blue B2 soft, a sunset, and a warm yellow. Just the 3. The one I use the most would be the gradual blue. As you can see, it's clear down the bottom here, but as it goes up, it slowly fades into the blue. That's really good for sunsets and sunrises when the lighting is too dark in the foreground but too light in the background, or vice versa. The other filter that I use is the sunset filter. As you can see, it's just orange. So if you have a cool or blue sunset or sky or whatever, this is where this comes in handy. It enhances, obviously, the oranges, makes it much warmer, makes it look more vibrant, looks a lot better. I typically don't use the yellow warm filter. I don't really like the effect it gives a lot of the time. And even if I wanted to, I could probably do that in post-production with either Lightroom or Photoshop. The only piece of equipment that I haven't shown yet is my flash, my SB700 speedlight. To be honest, I don't use it. I bought this when I was studying photography. I needed it for photography then, but to be honest, it just sits at home most of the time. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my videos. Keep an eye out for more videos in the near future. Thank you.